Ashwood loved Halloween. Every year, the town held a giant costume party. Kids dressed up in scary costumes. They went door to door shouting trick or treat. This year, the air felt different. A cold wind blew through the town. The moon hid behind dark clouds. It was going to be a spooky night. The doorbell rang at the miller's house. Mr. Miller opened the door. Two children stood on his porch. They wore old-fashioned clothes. The girl held a porcelain doll. The boy clutched a worn teddy bear. "Trick or treat," they said. Their voices were quiet, almost whispers. "Aren't you two adorable?" Mrs. Miller smiled. "What are your names?" "We're the Oakwood twins," the girl replied. "I'm Sarah, and this is my brother William." The twins visited every house in Ashwood. They never smiled. They only stared with their large, dark eyes. People felt uneasy around them. Their presence was strange. It was like they didn't belong. At each house, they repeated the same phrase, "Remember us." More children appeared. They wore clothes from different times. Some had on tattered dresses and bonnets. Others wore old-school uniforms. They all carried old toys. Their faces were pale, their eyes hollow. They roamed the streets whispering, "Remember us." Section 5. The town in fear. Panic spread through Ashwood. The townspeople gathered in the town square. "Who are these children?" they asked each other. "Where did they come from?" The children were everywhere. Their whispers filled the air. Section 6. The Graveyard Gathering. As the night deepened, the children walked towards the old graveyard. The townspeople followed, fear gripping their hearts. They watched from a distance as the children gathered around an old well. Section 7. The Secret of the Well. Old Mrs. Hawthorne, the town historian, stepped forward. "The well," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Legend says it's haunted by the spirits of children who died long ago." The townspeople gasped. They looked at the children, now illuminated by the moon, with a mix of fear and pity. Section 8. Unmasking the Past. The children began to sing. Their voices were high-pitched, like the wind whistling through the trees. As they sang, their appearances changed. Their skin became translucent, their eyes glowed. The townspeople could see through them, as if they were ghosts. Section 9. A warning echoed. Suddenly, the singing stopped. The children turned to face the town. "Remember us," they said, their voices now a chorus of whispers. "Remember what happened in Ashwood." Then, as quickly as they appeared, they vanished. Section 10. Forever Halloween. The townspeople stood in stunned silence. The graveyard was empty. The only sound was the wind rustling the leaves. Halloween in Ashwood would never be the same. The ghostly children were gone, but their message lingered. They wanted to be remembered, and Ashwood would never forget.